we shouldn't say, will the IGF survive? The IGF itself is a dialogue, and it has enabled dialogues across the world. Like, for example, yesterday in the regional meeting, where regional IGFs were reporting back, we saw dialogue, we saw action, we saw interest in internet public policy, we saw multi-stakeholder engagement happening on the ground in those countries. Africa is going to be announcing an African regional IGF, right? Pan-Africa, 52 countries involved in that. And that's also happening in the rest of the world. Even now the US is having their own IGF. So this gives us an example that the IGF's survival is not the question. The question was how much people in their countries and regions will start taking interest in internet public policy issues, and that has already started happening. Maybe IGF continues to be that central forum for the world to actually turn to at the end of the day, to have a global policy dialogue, get updated what's happening around the world. For example, even the EG8 summit recently in France actually pointed back to the IGF. And every discussion around the world around policy issues points back to the IGF. So the IGF somehow has made its mark, but there's much more expected from the IGF, and somehow it's considered to be sort of a basket, right? It's a failover basket for failed processes across the world with regards to the internet. And one other thing has been seen, people don't want another process to happen across the world. So the IGF has its sort of sustenance. Okay, let's talk about voluntary funding. That remains a challenge. Let's talk about getting maximum developing country participation. That remains a development challenge as well. Addressing development issues has only actually recently started with the inclusion of the IG4D, Internet Governance for Development session. And this year we've been able to actually have development mainstreamed across IGF. So if we continue to go this path and we continue to help become a reference point for enabling pro-people internet public policy making activity, I think that is what I would call survival. Whether those processes whether people, apart from unilateral control, will be able to gain multilateral control over sort of certain issues of the internet. So the IGF has brought the world together. The IGF is moving ahead till 2015. 2015, the world is again going to meet in sort of a World Summit on Information Society kind of setting, and they're going to look back at what happened in this decade, and they're going to define what's going to happen in the next decade. So this is an ongoing multilateral process. I don't think the survival is the question. It's shape. What form will the IGF be in 2015? Maybe the most pressing question.